I'm feeling very filled and content and overflowing with emotions, being in the wonderful association of devotees here. People go to Vrindavan, people go to Mayapur to experience Krishna consciousness, to experience Krishna, to experience Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But our Ishtadev is Guru Maharaj. So when we come together, we experience him more. We feel his presence more. And that is the perfection of coming together. In India, now, when you go to railways, you will see that there used to be one special compartment for the handicapped. And now that they have painted it and they have put it, instead of handicap, they have put specially abled, just to make people feel more comfortable with the term. But if you actually ask a person who doesn't have a hand or leg or having some difficulty in his life, it doesn't make much difference to him. There can be different terminologies, nice, encouraging words and things, but somebody who has lost his hand or leg, he knows the pain. In the same way, devotees who have lost the very life in the form of Guru Maharaj, they know that pain. So there are many lectures, there are many philosophies, Vani Seva, this Seva, that Seva. But we know that vacuum is there, that feeling of separation is there. Recently, just a couple of weeks before, we were fortunate to visit the Govardhan Eco Village in Mumbai, and His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj gave some time and association. So we asked him that Maharaj, when Guru Maharaj left this world, then there were so many series of lectures by senior devotees. And we were told that with time, you all will get settled. With time, you will learn to see your Guru Maharaj in service and so. So we asked Maharaj, this is not happening. In fact, with time, the pain is increasing more and more. It has been 4 years and it's never becoming stable. Maharaj started to laugh and he said, that's good, it's not becoming stable. Did Brajvasis were ever okay that Krishna is now gone, so we are settled? After 10 years, 15 years, 100 years, they were having that separation, and each moment that separation was increasing. So much so that when they see Krishna in Kurukshetra after 100 years, you can imagine how overflowed they felt with love, and they kidnapped Krishna and they brought Krishna back to Vrindavan. And Maharaj gave a very nice analogy. Actually, it was raining a lot during that time, and we had great difficulty to reach Govardhan Eco Village. It was a 3 hours drive, but it took 8 hours because of the rain and difficulties. So Maharaj said, look at these rains. Rainy season is difficult. You can't do things as you want. But this 1 month of rain nourishes the forest for next 1 year. In the same way, the separation is tough. But this tears of separation nourishes our devotional service for eternity. So we have to accept it as a treasure of our life. If someone is okay that Guru Maharaj is not there, then he is not okay. So that pain should increase, that hankering should increase. Guru Maharaj's one of the favorite topic was Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and he would give lecture on this for weeks sometimes. The famous story of Gopkumar. And interestingly, that Gopkumar, he gets this mantra from his guru and he travels through so many planetary systems. But when he comes back to earth, he again sees his Guru. And that time, his Guru feels proud on Gopkumar. That Gopkumar, you're following my instructions. So we all will be seeing Guru Maharaj again. That's for sure. But at that time, what will be Guru Maharaj's reaction? How he'll be happy to see us. That will depend on how much instructions we have followed in his absence. And therefore, coming together, reminding ourselves, discussing his katha is very, very important part of our devotional service. Actually, this Guru Prem, the love for Guru, transforms into Krishna Prem. This love for Guru only comes and then it further develops into Krishna's love. Guru Maharaj was one time mentioning it, very beautiful point. He said, when yogis become perfect, they see Vishnu in their heart. And when devotees become perfect, they see, no, Guru Maharaj said, Guru in heart. He doesn't see Krishna in heart, he sees his Guru is in heart. So that is the success of devotional service, where you become more and more conscious of the personality. And when these divine personalities leave this world, they become more present. They become more present in everyone's life. Now they are with us. Now Guru Maharaj with us all the time. And therefore it's interesting that every Vyas Puja, we increase his age. 78th Vyas Puja, 79th Vyas Puja. Have you ever heard in outside world somebody's age is increasing after he left his body? But why we celebrate Vyas Pujas like that? Because he is present. And he will be more present if we meditate on the instructions and lives and qualities, the wonderful association he has given us. Especially Guru Maharaj, because he gave so much to each devotee that each devotee can speak for days together. There are very few personalities like that who could actually give themselves so much to disciples and followers. I remember when I came in 2017, I was very new in Guru Maharaj service, and we came to Cape Town, and then we came to Durban, and then we were supposed to go for the retreat in Drakensberg. So Hemanga Chaitanya Prabhu instructed me that you may be Guru Maharaj's servant in India, but here you are not serving him. Here Jagdanand Pandit Prabhu will be serving Guru Maharaj. And you can be around, that's okay, but you are not serving him. So okay, I was just around and I was seeing, and I could really see what a service means, what personal service means. Because when we went to Drakensberg, the way Jagdanand Prabhu was serving Guru Maharaj was very, very ideal. He won't serve Guru Maharaj Prasad in his room. He said, no, it will be inconvenience for Guru Maharaj to keep aside his things and take Prasad. So we took another room adjacent to Guru Maharaj where Prabhu was staying. And he would arrange Guru Maharaj's dining table every day with different details. Someday he would put his chair in a way so he can look outside. Someday he would put his chair towards us and he would put some flowers and things. It was so nice to see attention to details, as Prabhupada says, sign of love. And he would talk to Guru Maharaj like a friend. So it was very new experience for me. So I was around, and then Guru Maharaj, evening time, was taking dinner. So we served him pasta. And the devotee who prepared that pasta put curry leaves in pasta. So Guru Maharaj was taking that, and Guru Maharaj said, why do they put curry leaves in pasta? And I was trying to be smart, and I was telling Guru Maharaj, you know, these curry leaves, they're very good for digestive system. Guru Maharaj didn't even look at me. He took out all the curry leaves and kept it aside, giving me the signal that he is not happy. And then I was trying to serve, but the way I was serving was not proper because he had his own areas assigned in his plate where to put what. And if you put something else somewhere, then he would shift it. So after the thing finished, Guru Maharaj went to take rest, and Jagadanand Prabhu called me and he said, "Boy, Guru Maharaj is taking you too casually, huh? He's not chastising you, but you have to be serious." So anyway, that was my start, and I learned so much from wonderful devotees here, how to serve, how to have that enthusiasm to serve. So last few weeks, couple of weeks, I was in South Africa. I am in South Africa, and we had some gatherings of Guru Maharaj's disciples in Joburg, in two places in Joburg, and then in Cape Town, and yesterday also. So we were discussing a theme of Guru Maharaj's qualities, relating it with the qualities of Lord Ramchandra. Lord has unlimited qualities. In the same way, pure devotee also has unlimited qualities. But whatever little we can get from it, it's for our eternal benefit. So out of the 16 qualities of Lord Ram, we already covered 8 in these 3 places. So I was just thinking that during our gathering here, we'll try to cover the next 4, and then tomorrow we have another gathering in Phoenix. We'll cover the rest of the 4. So that will complete the 16 qualities. And on the last day in Sunday, Radharadhanath temple, we can discuss about Guru Maharaj's last days in Ujjain during the lockdown period, and then the experience of Guru Maharaj leaving for America and the last pastimes. So that we can discuss on the last day. So we covered a lot already. This is 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. And these were the Cape Town memories. So we discussed in Cape Town. And now we are going to the 9th one, which is Vidwan. Vidwan means expert scholar, knower of everything. We know the expertise of any good teacher is to explain the most difficult subject matter in the simplest possible way, so that even a child can understand. And beauty of Guru Maharaj's lectures were that his lecture were appreciated by children, teenagers, new devotees, advanced devotees. Everybody could get something from his lectures, because his presentation was so simple, but it was loaded with realization. And he would only use specific verses whenever it was needed. It's not that he's just bombarding people with verses. We know that pastime where he wanted to learn Sanskrit, and Prabhupada said, "No, you need not to learn Sanskrit. There are so many scholars. You just read my books and you will learn Sanskrit." And look at that, how Guru Maharaj picked it up from Prabhupada's mercy, that he was giving seminars on the topics which were not even available in English or Hindi, from original Sanskrit text like Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Hari Bhakti Vilas and others. So this was his expertise. And he understood tattvas, he understood rasas. Like one time we were in Orlando, and Guru Maharaj made the notes. This is the Bengali book. Actually it is written in Bengali, but the text is in Sanskrit. I mean the what do you call, like we write diacritics in English, but the language is Sanskrit. In the same way, it's written in Bengali, but this language is Sanskrit. So Guru Maharaj made the notes and everything, and then he had to go somewhere. He left, and then he phoned and told that, "Can you make notes from my book in English, because I want to give a seminar." And I was confused, because this is Bengali, Sanskrit written in Bengali. Both are, for me, is like Chinese or Japanese. So I was silent. And then Guru Maharaj said, "Don't worry, just keep an English book and keep this Bengali book next to each other, and you will understand what points I highlighted." I said, "How it will happen?" So I did that. I put the English book in my computer, and I put Bengali book next to it. And I started doing, and I started understanding what Guru Maharaj highlighted. And then when I sent notes to him, Guru Maharaj became so happy. He said, this is what Prabhupada told me. You need not to learn anything separately, but just read my books, you will understand everything. And then, after a few days, he was training one Italian singer, Thea, in some Vaishnav songs. So she was very excited to learn from Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj taught her Tattava Kathamritam and Mangalacharan and other songs. So she came to Guru Maharaj and told Guru Maharaj, can I sing that one? Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. It's very famous. Can I sing that one? And the Guru Maharaj said, no, you cannot sing that one. She asked, why? Guru Maharaj said, because there is rasa bhas, there is mixture of the rasas. Sri Krishna Govinda is Vrindavan. Hare Murari is Vasudev Krishna and He Nath Narayan is Vaikuntha Krishna. So you can't mix these rasas. So amazing. Huh? We cannot understand these points just by reading books. Even Krishna Jinka Naam Hai, Guru Maharaj only sings 4 paragraphs, not the full song. Because the remaining part of the song deals with Krishna and Kurukshetra, which is not actually our focus. Our focus is Aradhya Bhagavan Brajeshatanaya, Tadhama Vrindavana, Vrindavan Krishna. And then Guru Maharaj would say that sometimes things come off my mouth, even I am astonished to hear that. This was in Kuwait, and Guru Maharaj gave a very nice Rath Yatra program. It was so well received. There were more than 2,000 devotees, and they were very much inspired by Guru Maharaj's lecture. So when Guru Maharaj came back to his residence, so devotees, sat around him and they were glorifying Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj said that, sometimes I become astonished myself how these words coming out of my mouth. And then Guru Maharaj was telling the story how in Rishikesh there was a Mayavadi sannyasi who came to see Srila Prabhupada. But then Tamal Krish Maharaj said, no, you can't meet. So Prabhupada was inside and Guru Maharaj was preaching to this Mayavadi sannyasi. And Guru Maharaj was just a few months in the movement. And Guru Maharaj was telling him the perfect verse, Vadanti Tattva Vidas Tattvam. That verse Guru Maharaj told him and he was preaching to him. And after some time, Prabhupada called for Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj understood that he was preaching right in outside Prabhupada's room. So Prabhupada must have heard him preaching. And it was quite loud. And then Prabhupada was pleased. We know that pastime later on, how Prabhupada was pleased by his preaching. So Guru Maharaj is mentioning all that. And then Guru Maharaj said, I could be with and serve Srila Prabhupada for only 10 months. But those 10 months was so intimate relationship with him. Whatever comes out of my mouth is simply by his mercy. And he quoted that line, Yogyata vichare kichu nahi paye, tumhar karuna sar. That if you search qualification in me, you will not find anything. It's all mercy of the spiritual master. It was also wonderful how he related things with the Krishna conscious philosophy. That is another aspect of Vidwan. So this is Dubai. Don't see the buildings, you can see Guru Maharaj. You can see the Guru Maharaj is walking and talking on phone. This is Mahesh Prabhu's house at Dubai. And so Mahesh Prabhu was serving Guru Maharaj and there was a breakfast time. So they arranged a big feast for Guru Maharaj to take. So Guru Maharaj took the prasad. And at the end of it, Mahesh Prabhu's wife Rashmi Mataji brought jalebis. And she served in front of Guru Maharaj and Guru Maharaj looking at jalebi. And he looked it for a while. And now if Guru Maharaj does that, we know how nervous we become. Right? Because he is perfection personified. He knows cooking. You can't, like in Ujjain, like he takes Rajbhog every day and he tastes it because he wants to assure the quality served to Shri Radha Madan Mohan. And his style is, he will first ask, who cooked this? And by his question, you can't make it that he is happy or not. So you have to tell the right thing. So we tell, okay, Guru Maharaj, this devotee prepared this. Guru Maharaj said, call him. We call the person, the devotee. So that particular day, Krishna Prabhu prepared the sweets. We call Krishna Prabhu. And Guru Maharaj again confirmed, did you prepare this? And again, very, very neutral expression. You can't make out he is happy or not. Then he confirmed, yes, Guru Maharaj. Then Guru Maharaj said, when you made this sweet, you lit up fire first and put the pan and then you poured milk. but you should have first put the milk and then lit up the fire. And that devotee accepted, yes, Guru Maharaj, I did like that. But just by tasting that, Guru Maharaj could recognize what mistake that devotee committed. So he was so perfect in whatever he did because he wanted to offer perfect to Krishna. He wanted to offer perfect to Srila Prabhupada. So this particular day he was actually staring at jalebis. And they were nervous. So Rashmi Mataji and Mahesh Prabhu, they were nervous. And they asked Guru Maharaj, is all right if everything is okay? The Guru Maharaj said, just look at these jalebis. Just to prepare these jalebis, you have to work so hard. You have to soak the lentils and make the dough, and then you fry the thing, and then you make the sugar syrup. It should be of perfect consistency, and then you dip it there, and then you do some garnishing of created dry fruits and things, and then you offer it anyway. So much of hard work. How can this rascal atheistic scientist believe that this world can come by its own? How by looking at jalebi he could get that realization? When we see jalebi, we just jump on it. But this was Vidwan, he understand. This particular day in Mayapur, it was around 3 o'clock or something in the morning. And we got up, so we got ready and we were chanting in Guru Maharaj's Darshan hall. Guru Maharaj was inside his room, his lights were on. And suddenly he opened his gate and came out. And he said, Gandhi is a rascal. And I was astonished, We said, come inside. So then I went inside. And then Guru Maharaj said, he has written this book, Experiments with Truth. And he mentioned how to prove his celibacy, he would sleep naked with the young girls. But how nasty this person was. Yogis, they work so hard to recharge these 7 chakras. But even these yogis, they don't know that perfection of all yogic siddhis is to activate the Sahasra chakra. And devotees start their devotional service from Sahasra chakra. And then he quoted from Brahma Samhita, Sahasrapad Kamalam Gokulakyam Mahatpadam. Guru Maharaj is explaining that Sahasra chakra is lotus feet of Radha and Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. So when devotees worship Radha Krishna, actually they cross all these stages. And people are making these kind of people as Mahatmas. Such a realization just on his own. I was feeling fortunate that I got up early that morning. Yes, Vidwan. And as he was expert in cooking and every field we know, he also was expert in teaching devotees how to prepare perfect Rajbhog or any service for Krishna. This is from one temple. And Guru Maharaj asked these devotees to bring Rajbhog. And these devotees brought few items. Guru Maharaj said, no, I want to taste each item from your temple. So they brought each item. And then Guru Maharaj tasted it. And Guru Maharaj said, I wish I can spend time in each temple of this world and can teach devotees how to serve Krishna the best. And then Guru Maharaj said, if I can't do it, I'll train some of my disciples and I'll send them to temple to teach them how to perfectly serve Krishna. Because I feel bad, the quality of prasad I eat every day is far better than what Krishna is taking in temple. So he was expert in that. And he would give the rest. He was telling them that for salt you have a formula. 1 tablespoon in 1 kg. You heard that? So devotees learned that. And next time whenever Guru Maharaj took prasad, he said, okay, how much salt you put? And they learned it. I don't know how much they put, but they told Guru Maharaj, 1 spoon in 1 kg. I said, yes, very nice. Then another aspect of Vidwan is to coach devotees in perfect consciousness. Many times we share things, but we forget with whom we are sharing. For example, there are issues in our society, there are issues in our movement, but we don't share it with those devotees who have tender faith. Otherwise their faith will break. So Guru Maharaj knew everything, but he would not share everything with everybody. Like in this particular time, it is in New Jersey, and one devotee came and he was complaining about the one of the GBC members and sannyasi in ISKCON. And Guru Maharaj kept on listening. And I was thinking Guru Maharaj is aware of whatever he was telling because Guru Maharaj was dealing with that issue. He was the GBC chairman that year. So he was dealing with that issue. And Guru Maharaj was perfectly knowing whatever he is saying. But when he finished his thing, Guru Maharaj replied. He said, I want to share with you one experience. One time in Vrindavan, there was a meeting and devotees were criticizing one particular devotee. And one very senior sannyasi stood up and he started to leave the meeting. So others asked him, "Why are you leaving?" Then that sannyasi told that today you all are finding faults in this particular leader. Tomorrow you all will be finding fault in me. So better I leave on my own. So Bhai Guru Maharaj told this story. Guru Maharaj taught this particular disciple that today you are pointing out to that GBC and sannyasi, tomorrow you will find same faults in me. So as a junior devotee, it's not your right to do this fault finding. It's such a perfect teaching. Then he has his own very selective way, very innovative way of correction. Like one day he asked me that, do you know Kirti Kumari when she came? So Kirti Kumari Mataji visited from Holland for a few days in Orlando. Guma said, do you remember Kirti Kumari had her very nice recipe, technique to clean the pots? So I said, yes, Guru Maharaj, I remember. What was that? Then I said, Guru Maharaj, you have to take vinegar and then heat it up and then take baking soda and then clean and the pots will be clean as new. The Guru said, so are you waiting for Kirti Kumari to come back and clean the pots? so he could have told directly, but then he took all the steps to reach there. Another time, we were in Sanford and we were living for some days there. And one day Guru Maharaj called me and said, Krishna Kishore, in Ujjain, Sitanath does my service. I said, yes, Guru Maharaj. So what are his services in Ujjain? So I told Guru Maharaj, he cleans your bathroom, he washes your clothes, he irons your clothes, and he serves prasad to you, he cleans, your plates and things. So I was telling and Guru Maharaj said, and? So I was just telling. Then I finished. He said, and he changes my bed sheets every day. Because I was not changing his bed sheet. That was the way he taught me, changing his bed sheet. Another time he asked, how many vacuum cleaners we have? So I was very confident. I said, Guru Maharaj, you have 3 vacuum cleaners. One we got from the Lowe's, the new one. One was already there in house, we discovered it later. And one we got from the farm because it's big and it's very efficient. Guru Maharaj said, oh, you have 3 vacuum cleaners? I said, yes, Guru Maharaj. So you should use them sometimes. Vidwan, how to tell what, when? Because he was so sensitive. It's very sensitive. How to tell things. Like one time Guru Maharaj was taking prasad and there were some devotees from Marwadi background. Marwadi devotees are from Rajasthan and I also come from that family. So they are very enthusiastic about one particular preparation, dal bati. So I'm not sure if you know about it. It's a preparation. You make a dough and then you make round like laddus and then you bake it and then dal, then aloo sabji, then chutney. It's a Rajasthani typical menu. So there was a discussion and then Guru Maharaj said, you Marwadi people, how come you eat dal bati? There is no taste in dal bati. And if you have to bake the thing, why don't you roll it nicely so that it cooks properly? Why you have to make it like a ball and then you have to do this? So he was telling. And that the sanskaras are so deep, you are attached to your body. So I was feeling bad about dal bati. And I was telling, no Guru Maharaj, in bati, it's not like complete round, but they make it like a oval and then press it from between. So it cooked nicely and then you again fry it in ghee so it becomes very crispy. And then Guru Maharaj was again until, but still you can roll it, right? You can make it. Was to and fro 2-3 times. And then Guru Maharaj saw that I was feeling little, agitated by this discussion. And there was silence for some time. Then Guru Maharaj said, but dal bati is not ordinary. It's a very special dish. Because Sanatan Goswami would make rolls of this atta dough and bake and feed Madan Mohans. Actually, they are in our parampara. And then I became happy. So we talk about Vaishnav Sadachar, we talk about sensitivity, but he was personification of Vaishnav Sadachar. He knew how to how to encourage somebody. As a leader, he was not there to suppress somebody, but encourage. And when it came to dealing with his god brothers, he was so particular. Like in Mayapur, one day he was taking a walk, and suddenly Gurma started running. So he thought, what happened? Why Gurma is running? So we were also running behind him. And we saw Indradumna Maharaj was walking. So he ran to catch up with Indradumna Maharaj, and he went ahead him, and then he greeted Indradumna Maharaj, and then they both talked. So then I could not understand what happened, because we could have gone and stopped Indradumna Maharaj or something. So I asked the devotee there, Baninath Prabhu, that why Guru Maharaj did like this. And Baninath Prabhu explained that, see, Indradumna Maharaj is his god brother, and it's not an etiquette to call your god brother from behind. So Guru Maharaj took that opportunity to run there and go in front of him, greet him, and then talk with him. So he was so particular in these things. Very, very sensitive. I was just the opposite. I was just the blunt, and I was not having that brain to respond properly. Like one day he came back to D-Land from Silicon Valley. It was already 11 p.m. in night. And from Silicon Valley to Orlando, it was like 3.5 hours flight. And then again a drive for 1.5 hour. He was very tired. But when he came, he asked, tomorrow what you are serving? We used to have the catering thing every day. We used to go in corporate and supply lunch. So he said, Guru Maharaj, we prepared the menu, but we are not sure about the sweet. So Guru Maharaj said, we'll prepare sandesh. I said, okay, Guru Maharaj. He said, we'll prepare now. At 11 p.m., okay, we 2-3 devotees came, and Guru Maharaj personally, he made the paneer, and then he, kind of squeezed it out, and then he was rolling it and things, and he made sandesh. So it was already 1.5 hour. 12:30 he went to his room. Then I was massaging his feet. Guru Maharaj said, what time generally you take rest? Now it's a simple question. And I answered simple. I said, Guru Maharaj, I generally take rest at 9:30, 10. I said, oh, because of me you got delayed today. I'm very sorry. I am so foolish. I was not understanding where Guru Maharaj is leading this to. But he wanted to just make me comfortable that, okay, don't worry, just one day I delayed you. Next day you can sleep. Vidwan. Next is Samartha. Samartha is expert. We know Guru Maharaj is expert in everything. You can take a walk with him in a garden and you can understand how expert he is. He can tell the scientific names, and he can tell when the fruits will come, flowers will come. He can tell all the details. So he's very expert. He would go to Lowe's, and he would take out all these different instruments and things, and he would teach us how to use them. He would teach us how to fix the tiles. He would teach us everything. One day, one devotee, she was from New Orleans, and Guru Maharaj encouraged her to do the food manager's course. So she did the course. And then Guru Maharaj was talking to her, and Guru Maharaj asked her, okay, Kara, what is the freezing point of water? So she told something. Guru Maharaj said, no, Kara, it is 32 degree Fahrenheit. Then she said, no, Guru Maharaj, this is that. And now she is the certified food manager. And Guru Maharaj is telling this, and Guru Maharaj said, check in the phone. So I checked in the phone, and I gave it to Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj put right in front of her, look at it. I don't say things which I don't know. So he is like Vidwan. And he would personally do also things, and he would teach us. Like here he is painting the wall with the spray machine. Because we were new, we were not knowing anything, how to use this machine, how to paint, how to do things. So he would teach us how to do the painting and things, and then we would continue doing this. He taught us how to use nail gun, how to use the drilling machine, everything. When we were taking this video, Guru Maharaj turned and told, you're taking this video to show that your Guru Maharaj knows painting also. This is in Vrindavan. He's selecting paraphernalia for Radha Madan Mohan. This is in Mumbai. Guru Maharaj wanted to make a movie on Lord Chaitanya. And he is meeting with this Mukesh Prabhu, Mirabai Mati's husband, and next to him is a very prominent person in India. I don't know if you saw that, but in India people are crazy about one particular TV serial, Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. I don't know if you know that. It's a very, Tiranath knows. It's very famous, very famous. And there are like millions of viewers. He is the producer of that TV serial. So Guru Maharaj had meeting with him, and he got the best script writer and everything, and they wrote the script, and Guru Maharaj scratched it and threw it. Guru said, I can do the better job than that. And Guru Maharaj himself wrote the whole script of this Chaitanya movie. Unfortunately, it couldn't happen because this was just before the lockdown. So he was so expert. And he did Abhay Charan. This is, he is in the helicopter. Guru Maharaj wanted to hire a helicopter service between Mayapur and Calcutta in the recent years. So that is from there. One of the aspect of Samartha expert is one who makes other devotees also expert. So he would push devotees to do things. Like when we all went to Orlando, we were all like 21, 22, 23 years old boys. And Udyananda Prabhu, Guru Maharaj's godbrother, he told Guru Maharaj, people start projects with professionals, people start project with experienced people, and you have got this bunch of boys to start this project. Guru Maharaj said, what to do? Prabhupada did the same. so, so I will just train them, and by training they will learn. Like he would put sometimes in situations which were very, very difficult. Like one time, it was Vyas Puja festival of Guru Maharaj. And first day, Bhakti Prem Maharaj gave Bhagavatam class. So Guru Maharaj would give the seminar sessions, but morning, some devotees would give Bhagavatam class. So Bhakti Prem Maharaj gave the Bhagavatam class. And then evening, Guru Maharaj told, tomorrow, I want you to give class. And I was trembling because there were like 3 sannyasis and so many sannyas candidates and so many senior devotees. And Vyas Puja time, 3,000 devotees in Ujjain. I was trembling. And immediately I told Guru Maharaj, Radha Vinod Prabhu is there from UK. And I said, okay, let him give. Day after tomorrow you give. So I couldn't speak anything. Then Radha Vinod Prabhu gave class. Then again, next evening, I went to Guru Maharaj. I said, Guru Maharaj, I was just wondering that Vansidhari Prabhu is there from Baroda. I was just taking some names. He is a scholar and devotees like his classes and this and that. Then Guru Maharaj was working. Then Guru Maharaj stopped and he looked at me and said, it's not about senior or junior. When I want you to give class, you have to give class. And that was it. And I could not tell anything. I went and I prepared and I gave class and things. We were serving Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj took rest. After that in night, I prepared something. Morning, I went and gave class. When I came back, Guru Maharaj was having breakfast. So I went and I offered my obeisances. Then Guru Maharaj said, how was the class? I was silent. He said, I was listening it online. You started 15 minutes late. I said, Guru Maharaj, sorry, the Guru Puja singer, he delayed the Guru Puja. And he said, whatever it may be, always start the class on time. And then he said, it was nice that you quoted Prabhupada's pastime, because that's what I do. And now you understand why I asked you to give class? I want you to learn. So that was his. Samartha means one who makes others samartha. One time, Guru Maharaj went to Australia and I could not get my visa for Australia. So we just went to see Guru Maharaj off. Guru Maharaj is going from Mumbai and we just went till Mumbai and then he went to Australia. So he managed his bags himself and everything. We were feeling bad. So when he reached Australia, there is one devotee, Shyam Sundar Prabhu. So he was driving Guru Maharaj from airport. So he told Guru Maharaj, in this age you are coming and you're lifting your own bags and you are doing all this yourself. You should always have an assistant with you, traveling with you all the time. Guru Maharaj told him, I don't keep assistants because I need them. I need assistants because they need me. And Shyam Sundar Prabhu, immediately after reaching, he called me and he told me this. Samartha. This is from Cary, North Carolina. Guru Maharaj was meeting devotees and they came to see Guru Maharaj off. Guru Maharaj was leaving from Cary to Orlando and he was taking a train. So Guru Maharaj was waiting for the train and devotees were sitting there. And then devotees were complaining. Guru Maharaj, there are so many problems in ISKCON. We don't feel like going to temple. So much politics, so much crisis, this and that. So is it good if we practice our devotional service at our home? Guru Maharaj said, If in your house one room is so dirty that's stinking bad, will you just prefer to be in another room or clean that room? What he said, yes, we should clean that. He said, ISKCON is our home. If there is some problem, we have to fix it. Then there was one devotee who was starting to go into Gaudiya Math, and he told Guru Maharaj, but you know, Gaudiya Math people are so loving, so caring, and actually they are not asking us to leave ISKCON and going there, but we naturally feel so nice going there. Guru Maharaj said, if there is a small child and the neighbor gives him nice toffees, should the child leave his parent and go to the neighbor? So even if they are more loving, I accept that, but still you have to stay in ISKCON and serve. So making them powerful. This is in Singapore. This is Devkinandan Prabhu. He is the leader of community there. And Guru Maharaj loved him very much. So Guru Maharaj had a meeting with him in Tirupati. And Guru Maharaj was asking him different things, and he was glorifying Guru Maharaj that you are one preacher who can go to the villages of Bangladesh, and you can also go to the parliaments. Everybody can connect with you. So he was appreciating, and Guru Maharaj was also speaking to him very lovingly. Then at last Guru Maharaj asked, how are my disciples doing in Singapore? So Devkinandan Prabhu was appreciating the devotees. Guru Maharaj said, when you go back, tell my disciples that if they want to be called as my disciples, they should learn one verse. Pranadapi sunichena taruriva saishnuna amanina manadina kirtanya sadaya. If they cannot follow this, they cannot be my disciples. Guru Maharaj told that. Next is Eka Priya Darshanam. Even enemy would get pleased to see such a personality. His darshan is so priya. Just by looking at him, just by being around him, one can forget all his problems. Like we have some young managers in Ujjain, and one of them is Dhirgaur Prabhu. He was just appointed as general manager. And he joined temple, and after 3 months, he was appointed as general manager. And he was dealing with a very complicated problem. We had a school in village, and we ran into a problem. So he was so much stressed that he wanted to leave the service. And he called me that, we were in Mayapur that time. He called me that, Prabhu, it's too much. You tell Guru Maharaj that I'm leaving this service. So I said, Prabhu, just wait 1 minute. He said, okay. And I gave that phone to Guru Maharaj. He said, Guru Maharaj, Dhirgaur Prabhu is on call. Guru Maharaj took the phone. He said, Hare Krishna, Dhirgaur. And everything is gone. Yes, how is everything? Good, Guru Maharaj, everything is fine. So the school thing, Guru Maharaj will take care of it. Eka Priya Darshanam, just by his little touch, one feels so elevated, so elated. In Kuwait, there was one devotee, Ashish Prabhu, and he was struggling with his 16 rounds. He was not initiated. So one day he happened to be with Guru Maharaj in the lift. And Guru Maharaj was asking him, so Ashish, how is everything? He said, Guru Maharaj, I'm not able to chant my 16 rounds. Therefore, I'm not even able to aspire for initiation. My work is so difficult and this and that. Guru Maharaj just said, don't worry, ho jayega. Today it will happen. That's it. And that's all. We reached, and then Guru Maharaj started his program and things. Till now he's chanting 16 rounds without fail. So just Eka Priya Darshanam, just a small touch of him. And he was so loving that he wanted to take care of everyone. Like I remember in Mayapur, 2017, January, Guru Maharaj asked Hemanga Prabhu, he asked that one devotee is in crisis when we should send Lakshmi every month to them. And Hemanga Prabhu, as he is, he told Guru Maharaj, how many people you'll send Lakshmi like this? Guru Maharaj said, as many as I can. As Prabhupada's representative, it's my duty to take care of devotees. They have given everything for Krishna. Will Krishna personally come and take care of them? Why Krishna has appointed us? We are there to take care of these devotees. So as many as I can take care, I will do that. That was his. One day one devotee came to Guru Maharaj. He was a very young brahmachari. And Guru Maharaj was in Mayapur. So Guru Maharaj asked him, how are you? In Bengali, Guru Maharaj. Then he replied, Guru Maharaj, we are okay, but we don't get your association. So Guru Maharaj said, why? He said, Guru Maharaj, we are so fearful to come to you. And especially Bengali devotees, they are very respectful and things. Guru Maharaj said, call everyone. So they are all disciples of Guru Maharaj in Mayapur. Mayapur disciples, brahmachari disciples. So Guru Maharaj called everyone. Guru Maharaj is meeting everyone personally. One devotee, where are you from? Who your family, your background, your disease. And two, three of them had some diseases. Guru Maharaj arranged for them to come to Ujjain and take treatment. That was the love he would share. And then when Grahastha devotee was peeping in inside, he was looking. He said, "Don't worry, you can also come inside." So never let anybody feel excluded. He would include everybody. This is with small children in Ujjain. Guru Maharaj is playing ball with him. And then he invited some devotees from Surat. They were teenagers, and the children of congregation devotees. So Guru Maharaj called them, "You come to Ujjain." And when they were coming, Guru Maharaj called a meeting of temple management. And Guru Maharaj said, "My very special guests are coming. So you please book the whole guest house. And you should arrange a nice, comfortable traveler to pick them up. And then I am going to Indore for a program. They all must come with me, like 30 of them. They all must come with me. And when they return, we'll come late. So you should arrange nice prasad for them in Govindas." Govindas were not there, but we had the place, so we would serve their prasad. And next day, I will give them pizza party. That's what the instructions. So management was thinking, who are these guests coming? When they went to receive them, they were like teenager kids. And they all were received with garlands, and they were like put in nice vehicles, and they were brought in temple. Guru was standing, he was welcoming them. And then Guru Maharaj took them to Indore program and came back. In night we fed them, and next day they were sitting for a pizza party. And now pizzas, like 30 people sitting together, you can't serve them everyone at once. And Guru Maharaj, if he finds out that you are serving cold pizzas, that's another issue. So devotees were preparing fresh, and it was taking time. So only one pizza came, and they were young kids. So as soon as you gave them finished, they one pizza as soon as you gave finished. Now Guru Maharaj came in. And when Guru Maharaj came in, he became so angry. This is how you serve the guests? They are sitting to eat and you are not serving them? Let me go. And Guru Maharaj is doing to and fro. This is the back kitchen, doing to and fro, and personally coming and serving pizzas to them. These children were so touched by Guru Maharaj's love. Where he's finding this time? He is GBC, sannyasi, world preacher, but he's taking care of teenagers like this. And he would understand the sentiments. That is another aspect of Priyadarshana. Why people are so attached to him? Because he understood the sentiments. He understood the emotions. Like this day, Guru Maharaj had swelling in his leg. It was bad. He was not able to walk. Even to take him to washroom, we would give him support to go. And we know Guru Maharaj would only go to his bed only to take rest. And he would not do his work from bed. But this particular time, he was working on his laptop from his bed. He was calling devotees from his bed. It was very unusual situation. So in the night, Guru Maharaj called us and he said, my leg is paining a lot. So can you bring some water with salt, warm water and salt? I'll put my leg there. So we brought it, and we were very tensed because we were seeing that pain on Guru Maharaj's face. So we were very tensed, and we all were very tensed. And then Guru Maharaj saw that we all are tensed. So Guru Maharaj looked at that bucket, and there it was written, "In care of Guru Maharaj." So Guru Maharaj said, "Who wrote this, in care of Guru Maharaj? Am I going to use this bucket to wash my clothes? You should write, in care of Krishna Kishore." And then we all started to laugh. So he lightened up the moment because we all were tensed. That was his sensitivity, that okay, they are worried about me, let me crack a joke, so they all become little relaxed. This is in Kanpur. Guru Maharaj went for GBC meetings. It was a very hectic time. And Guru Maharaj was also supposed to give initiations on the day of Dashera. So he prepared for the initiation, he chanted on beads, he was also attending so much hectic in different ministry meetings. And this particular day in morning, because he would give initiation, he would also fast sometimes on that day. So he was also fasting. He gave first initiation, he attended the yajna, he came back to his room, and after yajna he was supposed to give the Brahman initiations. And he was also fasting. Now, the candidates were sitting in front of him, and Guru Maharaj called the first candidate. Now this candidate was from Bangladesh, a very simple devotee. Guru Maharaj asked him, "Okay, tell me first verse of Bhagavatam." He could not tell that. Guru Maharaj said, "Okay, tell me first verse of Ishopanishad." He could not tell that. Guru Maharaj said, "Okay, recite Mangalacharan for me." He could not do that. And then Guru Maharaj said, okay, bring the book. We had a Bengali Bhakti Giti Sanchan. He said, bring it. I brought. Guru Maharaj said, okay, read. He could not read. Now, Guru Maharaj already put the thread in his thing. But Guru Maharaj didn't give him mantra. Guru Maharaj became so upset. This is how I'll give Brahmana initiation? You don't know to read and write, you can't recite Mangalacharan, you will be a Brahmana? Guru Maharaj took that thread off. He said, I will not give you initiation. You can go. That devotee was devastated. He was just sitting and crying. Guru Maharaj didn't look at him. He gave initiation to the rest of candidates and then he skipped prasad. He didn't take prasad and he went to the afternoon session of the meeting. So when Guru Maharaj would go in the meeting, we would just lock his room and we would go do our things. After 1 hour, Guru Maharaj called. He phoned me, where are you? So I rushed. And Guru Maharaj standing outside his room. So I opened the door, Guru Maharaj sat on his chair and he said, can you call that devotee back? Because I chastised him, I'm not feeling like eating. I'm not able to concentrate in my GBC meetings. So can you call him back? Now the problem was, I was not having his phone number. He was from Bangladesh. Nobody knew him in Kanpur. And Kanpur is a very big temple. So I started searching him here and there, here and there. I couldn't find him in the dormitories, in ashram, in rooms, in prasadam hall. Finally, I found him in the temple room. In front of deities, he was crying. So I told him, come. And now the language problem also, because he was only knowing Bengali. And I'm not that good in Bengali. So I was telling Prabhu, chalun. Prabhu said, kothay? He said, Guru Maharaj kache. No. I'll not go to Guru Maharaj. He said, no, come. And I had to practically drag him to take him to Guru Maharaj. I couldn't explain him because of the language problem that why Guru Maharaj is calling him. So I had to drag him to Guru Maharaj. And then Guru Maharaj received him a big smile. Guru Maharaj said that, I'm sorry. I took that Brahman thread off. I'll give you initiation. So Guru Maharaj gave him Brahman thread at that time. Guru Maharaj gave him mantra. And Guru Maharaj asked us, you train him up to recite the mantra. And then Guru Maharaj said, you promise me, within 6 months, you'll finish Bhakti Shastri and become a very good boy. He said, yes. So that is his love, his concern, that he can't see anybody in distress. This is in Singapore. So Guru Maharaj told during the program that I'll take toast in the evening after program, in dinner. So devotees assigned one particular devotee to bring special bread. So this devotee was assigned. But due to his work, he was late, and he was a very simple Bengali devotee. He was late and then he was stuck in traffic. He was not having his own car, so he had to change taxi. By the time he came, Guru Maharaj was also already feeling hungry, so he took some other prasad and he went to take rest. Now this devotee came with this bread and he was crying. He said, what a big offense I committed. Guru Maharaj wanted this bread and I wanted to feed him and I'm late, and Guru Maharaj had to manage with whatever available, and Guru Maharaj. So we were encouraging him that, Prabhu, don't worry, it's okay. Guru Maharaj took nice prasad, don't worry. But Guru Maharaj heard it. So he already went to take rest, but he woke up, he switched on his light and he came out. What's happening? So he told Guru Maharaj, this devotee came with bread. Oh yes, I was waiting for him. Let me have some toast. Now, Guru Maharaj already finished his prasad, he was satisfied. But Guru Maharaj took an extra piece of bread just to satisfy that devotee. That he came with so much endeavor, I should not send him back like this. So that was his love. And then his love for God brothers, that is beyond discussion. This is from Kirtan Mela in Ujjain. So, two of his God brothers, Bibi Govinda Maharaj and Chandramauli Maharaj, came. So, Guru Maharaj told us before that, we were studying in Pune that time. So, Guru Maharaj told us, can you come to Kirtan Mela? And our exams were scheduled on the same dates. So, we thought we'll just go for a day as Guru Maharaj asked us to go. And we'll just fulfill that instruction and we'll come back. So, we went to the temple and it was late night. So, we slept. Next morning, Mangala Arati, Guru Maharaj standing in the front. We were standing at the back. And we didn't meet Guru Maharaj. So, we thought that, okay, but we fulfilled the instruction. So, we'll go the same afternoon back. Now, during the Japa time, Aniruddha Prabhu came and he called us. He said, Guru Maharaj wants to see you. And I was so fearful because as a student, when Guru Maharaj saw that I came, I was very confused. So I took two of my friends with me. I said, let's go together. We can feel more strength that way. So we went together, three of us. We went to Guru Maharaj's room. The Guru Maharaj said, oh, now, why? Now, nice, sit down. The Guru Maharaj said, two of my godbrothers are coming and I want you to serve them. Now, what about exams and things? We thought, okay, let it go. We'll just follow Guru Maharaj's instruction. But see the sensitivity. Guru Maharaj said, okay, Karthik, my name was Karthik. He said, Karthik, you serve Bibi Govinda Maharaj. There was another friend of mine, Karthik, you served Sarv Chandramali Maharaj. And there was third devotee, Rajat. Guru said, we were thinking, okay, Rajat can help us maybe. We said, okay, Rajat, you serve me. Now in Ujjain, Guru has so many servants, but just to encourage, with three boys, all three should feel encouraged. So he gave that service and he gives nice reception. That evening, Guru Maharaj was supposed to lead Kirtan. Guru Maharaj led Kirtan. Chandramauli Maharaj was dancing. At the midnight, Guru Maharaj was in his office and he came out of his office. So we were awake. I don't know why we were awake, but we were awake. Guru Maharaj said, can you check Chandramauli Maharaj is sleeping or awake? Now, 12 o'clock, I looked from below the door, the lights were off. I went back to Guru Maharaj and said, Guru Maharaj, I think he's sleeping. Guru Maharaj said, can you wake him up? Now, Chandramauli Maharaj is very sweet, but when he becomes angry, then he's really, Chandramauli means Shiva. So, so it's very fearful. So anyway, I knocked his door few times, then finally opened his door. When he opened his door, I told my Guru Maharaj, want to meet you. He said, yes, yes. So he got ready, and then by the time he was getting ready, Guru Maharaj came himself. And Guru Maharaj came and he said, Maharaj, I want to beg forgiveness from you. I said, why, Maharaj? We are so happy Kirtan Mela is happening. We are so happy here. Why? And 12 o'clock at night. I said, I'm feeling so bad that today you were there in temple room and I didn't request you to lead Kirtan. I took the whole slot and I didn't even ask you once that would you like to lead Kirtan. I was feeling so bad that I couldn't sleep. So please forgive me. That was his sensitivity. Then when they were leaving, Bibi Govind Maharaj was leaving. So he was in the bathroom and we were just preparing his bags and we were taking it out. And Guru Maharaj came. So he was in the bathroom. Guru Maharaj came, Guru Maharaj said, can't you see his bags are not clean? So you should clean it. So I was just about to go to fetch a cloth. Guru said, no, bring my towel. Said Guru Maharaj, no, bring my towel. When Guru Maharaj says like that, you can't. So okay, I brought his white washed towel. And then Guru Maharaj with his own hands personally cleaned the bags of Bibi Govinda Maharaj. He said, this is how you serve. You should not cut corners. So that was his love for his godbrothers. This was in Atlanta. Guru Maharaj sitting for Prashad. And it was again a fasting day. I think it was Ram Navami or something. I'm not remembering. It was fasting day. And there were other godbrothers. Shrutakirti Prabhu, Panch Gauda Prabhu, so many other godbrothers. And as we were serving Guru Maharaj became so angry. Why are you serving me first? Serve my godbrothers first. You should not be serving me first. This was Ocean of Mercy in Telugu. So this particular god sister of ours, Srimati Radhika Mataji, she has translated Srila Prabhupada books into Telugu. And she also translated Ocean of Mercy into Telugu. So she brought this book to present to Guru Maharaj. And you can see Guru Maharaj was so happy by taking that book and everything, and Mataji was also very happy. And then Mataji proposed that Guru Maharaj, can we arrange a book launch in Mayapur for this Ocean of Mercy in Telugu, because there's so many disciples of Jayapataka Maharaj from South India in Mayapur, Telugu speaking. So can we launch it? And then Guru Maharaj said, no, I can't do it in Mayapur. How can I do it? And he was really very soft when he was telling, how can I do it in Mayapur? Mataji said, why Guru Maharaj, why can't we do it in Mayapur? He said, because in Mayapur so many of my godbrothers are there. How they will feel that I am trying to present myself as more important. So he was so sensitive to all this. Anyway, this unlimited pastimes. Hare Krishna. Should we end here? Hare Krishna. So we could cover till 11 points. There are more. We can, some Krishna willing, some other time. Hare Krishna. Anyone wants to share anything?
You mentioned there were 2,000 devotees in Kuwait. What kind of place was the gathering?
So they rented a school playground, an indoor school playground.
Kuwait is sufficient.
No, it was all underground. So they did that program secretly.